Hey guys, it's Chardonnay, aka Model Citizen. I know it has been such a long time since I have uploaded a new video. It's been almost a month, I think. But I've just had a lot of stuff going on in my life, in my personal life, and then also in the world in general. I feel like a lot has been going on, and I honestly just needed a break. Like, I needed to just take some time for myself and mentally get like back into the groove of things. So this week I will be doing a chit chat video with you guys. I posted on my Instagram maybe like a week or two ago, just asking you guys, would you rather see a chit chat video, or would you like me to just get right back into my fashion related content? If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe down below. But most of the time I post a lot of fashion related content. But you guys surprisingly voted for the chit chat video, and the topic for the chit chat video was why I quit modeling and some of the racism that I experienced in the modeling industry. This is something very personal to me. Like I said, I don't usually put like my personal business on the internet. My channel is very just very surface level. Like, I talk fashion, I do try on hauls, I have my Tall Queen series, things like that, but I don't really dive deep into my life on Instagram or on YouTube or Instagram and on social media in general, because I like to have those two separate. Like, my personal life is my personal life and my YouTube is like entertainment. But I wanted to share this story with you guys, or talk to you guys about this topic that is very heavy on my heart. I am an African American woman. I am a black woman, and I'm proud to be black. I have a black 5-year-old son that I instill in him that you should always be proud of where you come from. There is a lot going on in the world in terms of the senseless killings of African American or black people. We can say their names all day, but until some change is actually made, this is like just repeating history. So it hurts me, it hurts my heart. I get emotional thinking about it, and that's why I needed to like take some time away from YouTube. I have been posting a lot on my social media about this. I've been trying to do my part, but I know that that's not enough. In the description box down below, I will put some links to some petitions you could sign, to just some information that may help people that aren't as informed. The biggest thing in general is to be informed and to do your part. So I even have had conversations with all different types of races. I've had conversations with white people. I've had conversations with Spanish people. I've had conversation with all different types of nationalities about this topic. And it's so interesting to hear everybody's perspective. I remember one time I was having a conversation with literally 5 girls that were all different ethnicities. And it made me feel proud that we could sit here and like band together and talk about topics like this. Talk about topics that were back in the day pushed or swept under the rug, and that's why it has continued to happen. And now finally my generation is like, I feel like it's stepping forward and saying, no, this is it. Like, we should not still be experiencing this type of hatred towards black people. I just wanted to share my story with you guys. If you guys are not familiar, I've talked about on my channel before, but I used to model. I was a professional model. I was not Tyra Banks, y'all. I'm not saying I was like some celebrity. I was not. But professional meaning I got paid, and I was in a contract with an agency to model. So that to me is professional. If you are getting paid and you have a signed contract, to me, you could call yourself a professional. So what I wanted to talk about of why I quit modeling, this has become a question that I get a lot, even on a day-to-day basis. People come up to me and like, oh, are you a model? And I'm like, oh, I used to. I still do somehow, just with my own business. I always am modeling my clothes. If you look on my website, Vonshay.com, I am the model on there. So even Instagram and YouTube, that is a form of modeling. So I still feel like I model. I still get some checks cut for doing what I'm doing, but I am not signed with an agency anymore. So when I say why I quit modeling, it's more so that I'm no longer signed with the agency. So I just wanted to clear that up. I still feel like I model, but I'm not signed with a modeling agency anymore. One of the reasons I quit modeling was simply because I did not fit the stereotypical light-skinned girl. And I'm trying to say this as politically correct as possible, but just hear me out. So in the modeling industry, it is dominated by white people. My agents were white. My bookers were white. Most of the people that I saw when I went to these casting calls were white. Obviously, I am very light-skinned. Even in the winter time, I get lighter than this. But I have two African American light-skinned parents. So I obviously came out light-skinned. But that does not take away from the fact that I am 100% black. This is such a hard thing to talk about because I feel like in the modeling world, you just don't discuss what goes on behind the scenes, but I don't care. I have had agencies that I felt like I was not mixed enough in that category, and I was not dark enough. So as a light-skinned African American woman, I am obviously light-skinned, but my features still, to me, resemble black or African American. In the modeling world, I felt like I kind of struggled because I was not light enough in a way, but I was not dark enough. So usually when you see African American or black models that are really big, they are black. They are usually African because they have such beautiful dark chocolate skin. And modeling agencies like that because it's different and it's unique. But me in the middle, I felt like a lot of the times I did not fit in that mold. I was African American, I was black, but I was not dark enough and I wasn't light enough. So I didn't feel like, sometimes I felt like when it came to booking jobs, I wasn't unique enough or I wasn't different enough. And I struggled with that for a while, you guys. Like I loved being black, but I didn't understand why people or why I was being judged or why I wouldn't book jobs because I wasn't black enough, but I also wasn't like foreign or light skinned or mixed enough. So I put those in quotation because those are the words that I feel like were used. So that was discouraging. The one thing when I got into the modeling agency, I knew that you're gonna get 1,000 no's before you get like one yes. So that type of stuff, like I always would like tell myself, I felt like my parents instilled like a lot of self-confidence in me. So I just would be like, it was times I did get upset, but it was most of the times I was like, okay, you just didn't want me for that job, or I don't fit what you want for that job, but there are going to be jobs that I feel like I am going to fit what they are looking for. So that part right there, especially for younger girls that are like, I'm trying to be a model, I'm trying to do this. You have to have so much self-confidence in yourself and know yourself so well that I sometimes hesitate to tell girls or I don't sugarcoat what I went through in the modeling agency or modeling world because of the fact that I feel like if people sugarcoat it, you're gonna go into it being very naive and you're gonna get your feelings hurt. An example of a situation that happened with me and an example of what I'm talking about. This is hard to talk about on camera because I've never only my close friends and family know about it. But it could have broke me, but it didn't. I was signed with a mother agency, which is your main smaller agency. In Tampa, Florida. Started sending me to Miami. I was booking a lot of jobs out there, and of course I'm excited. I'm a young girl. I'm now booking more jobs and I'm getting more exposure. And my agency thought it was good for me to go get feedback or to get signed by a bigger agency. So obviously that was the goal. So I went to Miami. I went to multiple agencies. I went to Ford. I went to Next. Those are the two off the top of my head that I can think of. It's been a long time. And I got great feedback. Everything was very positive when I met with those agencies. But where we had some issues, I went to an agency called MC Squared. It's basically like an interview. I was excited. I had been to like 3-4 other agencies before that. This was my last stop. Usually during the process, they'll have you walk, they'll look through your portfolio, they'll have you take pictures. When this guy came out, I'll never forget his face or his name. His name was Iggy. And when he came out, immediately I saw a change in his demeanor. Just like a way that he looked at me that made me feel uncomfortable. So when he came out, he did not take me to the back like the other agents from previous agencies that I went to. He really didn't even look through my book. He kind of like skimmed through, and we just sat right in the waiting room. So I felt uncomfortable from the get-go. And then he proceeded to look at me and basically tell me like, I work with top models of the industry. Blah, 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 blah. Gives me a whole spiel. You could tell he was on a high horse. Like he was just on a high horse because he felt like he's a agent at this top agency. So like he knows everything, like he's God or something. So from then I was already turned off. But again, I put on my little professional face and kept it pushing. He felt like because he thought he was God and that he made all the rules in the modeling world, he proceeded to tell me that I was not European enough. And let me say this, the code word for I was not European enough is AKA you are not white enough. So to me, he basically described features of what a European person would have. He said like chiseled cheekbones and a defined jawline and a slim nose. He literally broke down like these features. I could not make this up. I will never forget this. And as he's saying this, I'm like, you are literally saying I'm a black woman and I don't have European features, or my features resemble a black woman, because that is what I am. And that is the reasoning behind you basically saying you don't want to work with me. And that's fine. This was my issue. You can say no without belittling or making someone feel some type of way. And this to me was pure racism. Like, you can't tell me I'm not European enough, or I don't look a certain way, so that's why I will never be a model. Quote unquote, I swear. He broke down the features and then he said, you will never be a successful model because you lack those features. So now I'm like shaking. So when I get pissed, like if I get angry to the point where I want to say something but I need to bite my tongue, I start shaking. So my hands, I remember gripping my hands like this so hard. I remember literally being like, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, be professional. Just say thank you for your time and I'm gonna leave. As I'm trying to like spill these words out, as I'm trying to be like, you know what, thank you, goodbye, have a good one, that's a no, I'm good on you anyway. He literally continues to like just beat me to the ground. And thank God, like I said, thank God, I know I've been through this. I hadn't been through this exact experience. This was probably my first time like actually somebody saying it to my face. I know agents or just like bookers or people in the modeling world, that's stuff that they'll say in the background, but someone actually saying it to my face, that was for sure the first time that had happened. But on top of him continuing to say something and trying to excuse myself, he then goes on to tell me, you know, modeling is not for everybody. Maybe you can be a photographer or like a makeup artist or even a hairstylist, like something more behind the scenes. Okay, now you taking it to a whole nother level. Like, now I'm pissed. Now you're being disrespectful. Now I don't give a crap who you are. I don't give a crap who you work for, but you being real disrespectful and racist at the same time. So as he's talking, I cut him off. I am like so pissed off, enraged and shocked at this point that my eyes began to water. not because I was crying, because my anger was building up so much. Like, I was literally like a ticking time bomb. Literally was like, you know what, you can feel like that, but I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. That's a no from you, but that doesn't mean that that's a no from everybody. You feel like that, but I'm not going to let what you're saying to me discourage me from modeling. And he was just like, oh honey, I remember it was even more belittling, because he was like, oh, are you about to cry? And I go, no, I'm not about to cry. I'm just pissed off that you could sit up here and say this type of stuff to people or to girls and make them feel this type of way. Like, the fact that you feel like you have this much power is like, it angers me. And he was like, oh, I'm not telling you to go get like a nose job, or I'm not telling you to like go get surgery, because I've had that happen before. I've had that, a girl, I told her no because her features, and she went and got a nose job and then came back to me. I'm like, honey, I told him, I was like, well, I'm not that girl. I just remember saying something smart along the lines of, that would never be me. So, but it just shows you how the modeling industry or girls feel so inadequate if someone tells them, oh, this isn't right about you. So I left there. I remember I part of the conversation, I feel like I blacked out because, like I said, I was such in shock that this man literally felt entitled enough to tell me who I was, or how pretty I was, or what features I need to change on me. And then on top of that, then goes on to tell me, because I'm black, that I should be behind the camera. Like, I would never make it in front of the camera. And you know what? When I left that agency, I vowed to myself, like, I literally vowed to myself that one day that man is gonna see me talking about him on camera, or just hear me talking or hear me saying his name and telling my story, and he's gonna feel stupid. And that's what right now I'm doing. Like I said, I've never told this story to besides my family, my friends, like my close friends. Nobody really knows about this story because it was just something I wasn't ashamed of, but it was just something like that I feel like has become normal in the modeling world. And one thing I will say, one thing that I am grateful for is that I never let things like that affect me. I never took those words and took those critiques and like held on to them. Anything, it just like motivated me to like be even more successful. After that, I went on to model for years and years to come. I worked with some like big brands that I'm super proud of, and even where I'm at now, that led me to the point that I am now. That led me to having the confidence to open my own business, having the confidence to talk to you guys on YouTube and talk to you guys and try and encourage my taller women, or just women in general, to just live your most authentic life. Live for you. Find your purpose and make yourself happy. Skip the outside world. Skip all the noise on the outside. Like, because you gonna have haters like that. You don't let that type of stuff or let those people slow you down, because that's what their goal is. I'm sure that guy thought that I was gonna leave there crying, broken, and I was gonna stop modeling, and I didn't. It just made me want to model even more and prove him and everybody else that has that narrow-minded mentality, prove them wrong. There's a lot going on in the world that I feel like is just repetitive. Like, I'm not the only one with this type of story. I know I'm not, but maybe people just don't feel comfortable to share. So that is why, part of the reason I felt like I wanted to take my career, I wanted to take what I do into my own hands. Nowadays, I don't even feel like you need a modeling agency to like be an influencer or to work with brands. You don't need that anymore, because social media has literally taken over everything. YouTube has taken over everything. There's more YouTubers I see on brands at Target with eyelash deals and sunglass deals and all types of stuff that I see YouTubers getting those type of brand deals, which back in the day it was more so left for the models. You never saw an actor or an influencer with those type of deals. So that's the part, like, yes, I stopped modeling with the agency. It wasn't necessarily because of some of the racism that I experienced. It was more so because I wanted to take things into my own hands. I started my business right after I decided to stop modeling. So that was one big thing for me. And then I also started my YouTube at the same time. So I wanted to focus more on my passion. I wanted to share this story to maybe just like open up a little more on my YouTube channel. But there is a lot going on in terms of like race. It's something that has been going on for decades now, but now I feel like we are actually like fighting for a change. Like we are actually saying, you know what, this has gone on long enough, it needs to stop. I do appreciate you guys for just like still continuing to subscribe to my channel, still continuing to like watch my videos. You guys leave the sweetest messages like on my YouTube and my Instagram, so I really truly appreciate that. Next week I will be starting my regular fashion related content. You guys let me know in the description box what type of videos you would like to see. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on Model Citizens. Bye you guys.